Welcome gamers to Symphony of War, the Nephilim Saga. My name is Daz Technic. Welcome to the channel. I hope you enjoy this content. If you do, please consider liking and subscribing and all that other sort of YouTube algorithm stuff. This is a game actually that I don't normally cover on my channel because it doesn't have sort of like random or procedural maps. It doesn't have like a dynamic campaign. It is actually very much story driven. But it's got a really, really cool combat system. There is replay value with the different sorts of forces that you bring together for your actual run through the game, and it's a really, really enjoyable game. It's a game that if it had the random content, I don't think. Look, at the moment with it being non-random, it is very much, you know, sort of like it's been very, very well thought through. The balance is right there, but I still think it would work. I think there would be a role for a dynamic campaign with this game. believe it or not, just with, you know, with different sort of algorithms to put it together. So that's probably the one aspect about the game that I would love to see, because I really like everything else. It's funny because these sorts of games are so hard to find on the PC. You can find them like very, very easily in the Nintendo's universe. You know, with the games like, for example, Ogre Battle or Advance Wars or what else is there? Fire Emblem. These sorts of games that really have, like, I don't know why there's such a like so few games like this on PC, but this game really does shine. And I haven't heard anyone say that they haven't enjoyed playing it. Like, quite the opposite. Anyone who has played it has actually really raved about it. So it's a brilliant, brilliant game. As I say, just wish it was had a bit more dynamic map generation aspect to it. That because at the moment I feel a bit torn between wanting to play a lot of it because I really enjoy the game, but also not wanting to do a walkthrough of the game. I do want to just present the way the game is played for you guys. Let's get into it. And what I think we might do is I'm going to show you how to. There's a few different things we can do with this game, and I don't want to get too caught up. But if you go like to a new game, and I won't start the new game because I'm not going to be able to show enough in the short amount of time that I do want to be playing the game, and I'll be probably playing for maybe an hour, so maybe sort of like 1 or 2 episodes, just so you get a feel for how the game is played. We'll actually play through an actual story aspect, one chapter or something of the actual game itself. So you've got 3 different modes here. So you've got like an easy, medium, and hard. The permadeath has been stripped out. It was actually part of the Warlord one. It's now been pulled out as its own aspect through here. So you can actually, even though it says no permadeath, if your units fall in battle. That's only if that's no longer applicable. This particular version that we're playing has just pulled the permadeath out from here and put it down as an option down below. So that's actually just what's happening through there. But we're not going to play that. In fact, if I go and begin the game, I'll do 2 run-throughs. One that's going to be a fairly basic one. Although I guess I could sort of show. Should I show how the game works? Because I wanted to show how the management of the game works as well. And I want to do that before I go into the actual battle in a big way. Let's just begin the game. So start a new game with these settings. Yes, let's just go for it. I'm not going to worry about the storyline, so I'm just going to go and get past all of this. I think I can skip through eventually if I just keep on clicking. Okay, so you've got like different things where you have what most leads to the downfall of great civilizations. We'll go, say, to poverty. What's the most important trait a leader could have? I don't know exactly where these come into the story, but I think that they do actually impact what is done. Unshakable love of the people, the power to command respect and fear. There we go. We'll just click any of these. Which personal flaw do you want to be avoiding most? So I'll just go deceptive. What do you most look for in a mate? We'll go intellect in this case. So I don't know how this actually impacts the game, but I'm sure it does. If you could choose their fate, what would it be? Great general. There we go. And you can then choose between a male or female. So I'll choose the female in this instance, just so you can sort of have a bit of a look. Lindley will do. We'll just click on OK. And you've chosen Lindley, yes. And then the game will sort of then start. Now, it is very, very much a story-driven game. And I won't go through the story. I'm just going to bypass it. Like, if you do get the game, then at least you can sort of then enjoy the story for the story's sake. I'm just going to skip wherever it will allow me to skip the cutscenes. It's got like a whole big long history of cutscenes that it goes through. Yes. We'll just keep on sort of zipping on past these. if it will let me. Here we go, that's the map. Then just goes through. We can skip all of this as well. I do recommend you actually look at the story, like if you do have the game. I think that it's sort of part of the enjoyment, but that's not what we're looking at here. We're looking at the combat system. So there's sort of like we're outside the front of an area. So there's us there. I'll just skip past this one, and I just want to get into the fight so you can sort of see what's going on. Chapter 1, Rebellion. So it's played in chapters, and I'll just play just a very, very small part of this one here. So there's a bit of talking between the different units in through this side. Now, very, very briefly, the way it works, we're at turn 1 at the moment. Now, if I just go and click anywhere and then have a look, for example, at the mission info, I can then see what the objectives actually are for this one here. Now, we'll look at that when we play our actual one. So that's one that you can do, just escape. What else have we got? We've got a squad list where we actually have our 2 squads in through here. So we can very quickly sort of maneuver to the different squads. Then we have different enemy squads, and there's a fair few of them on the actual map itself, as you can sort of see through there. We'll just press escape. Enemy moves, we can sort of see where they can actually move to. So this is sort of like areas that the current enemies on the map can move into different areas. This allows you to do a little bit of planning, but there's other ways to do that as well. What else do we have? We had mission info, we did that one. Squad list we've done. I don't want to end the turn. You do actually have like a fairly cool tutorial information where you can sort of go across, look at the different classes of fighters. There's a lot of them, by the way. So they sort of go, dragons and all sorts of different things will be in here. There's a dragoon and all the dragons. So there's lots and lots of different units that you can actually play with. This is very well fleshed out, I've got to say, the actual the information that's in here. I haven't really found anything that I really need to worry about in terms of trying to sort of find information. There hasn't been anything that's been really hidden. The game, in basic sense, is quite a simple game to play. So we have like a different character now. When we click on across there, you'll see that Zelos has got 3 units with him. He's got himself in front there on the right hand side. This shows up over here, by the way, when I do this one. In fact, if I click on him, I can just go to status and we can have a bit of a look at the actual group now. So now I can actually talk about it. So the groups, and I won't go through into much detail with this right now because I'll be going through that in more detail in just a little while. So Zelos is here, and you can see down through here, if I keep that one selected, I can then come across this side, and so Zelos is a level 8 Zweihander, like a 2-hander. So he's a special fighter. And if we wanted to find out more about what that particular fighter is, we can then go and have a look it up in the help files, in the tutorial files. He doesn't have any actual traits at this stage. Every unit in the game has an affinity, which then means different things. And again, I would suggest that you look at the tutorial a lot if you're trying to sort of figure out what's going on. To get him to become a Zweihander, it's taken 2 resources to build him this way. He's got different skill sets. His overall threat level is extremely high at 2,272. He's got like weapon skills, armor skills, strength, very high strength there, very low magic. Skill level is sort of like a basics across the board skill level, and then his leadership qualities, which allow him to then to sort of control different units back in through here. So that's our captain. Then we have a look across here, and then we have like a level 2 bowman, which is sort of like the lowest level of bowman. And this one's got an affinity of earth, and this one over through here has got an affinity of lightning. So there's a few different affinities back in through that side, and they mainly have bearing on what happens with the weather. So the weather has a big bearing on the affinity of the actual character itself. But we'll talk about that when we actually get into the actual fight. There's no equipped artifacts. That's empty at this point in time because this is the start of the game. I'll just press escape, and we can have a look at this particular character as well. So if I click on that one and click on status, I can then have a quick look to see. Now, Lindley is the one that we selected. She's only got a threat level of 731, so she's not very strong. She's got an affinity of light. Now, the character that you create will always have this light affinity, which means sort of like a goodness affinity. We can see there that she's got like guardian rolls in through this side. And if we go to the second page, we can then see that this unit takes minus 25% damage while on defense. So if we get attacked, that guardian roll is just going to help us to defend a little bit. You can see there the overall skill levels are very, very different than what we sort of saw there with Zelos, or whatever his name was. And we've got ourselves, like in this case, we've got a level 1 medic, we've got ourselves a level 1 fighter, and a level 1 fighter back up through there. Now, the way that the combat works is if I just press escape, and then go and click on these, we can then have a better look at these as well. Now, if I go and click on this one and have a look, double click it, I can then see I've just got two. This is Otto's group, and it's just got two bowmen. Now, as a bowman, their armor is very, very low, so they're very, very easy to hit with melee weapons. They're very, very weak in that sort of sense. If we have a look at a few of the others, we can sort of then see a few like this grouping through here, for example, is just two swordsmen. So if we go and click on that one, so these are fighters, level 2 fighters. Back and through here, is that a level? Yeah, they're both level 2s. We can see the Symphony of War in this one here, and so their armor is much, much higher. But their overall strength level or threat level is really quite weak. So what we'll do is we'll have a quick look and see what we can do. I'll just fight these fights just so you can see what does go on. Now, one thing you may want to do is just come and click somewhere, go to System, and it's not going to be quite the one. It's Options, sorry, not System. Options. What I've done is, by default, the animation speed is on fast. I wish that this could be actually almost turned to a click to get to so you can see exactly what's happened in an actual fight. I've moved that to normal because I think that this is a good way to sort of look at the game. It allows you to then digest exactly what's happening in the fights. So I'll try to explain what does go on. Now, there can be zones of control, but there's not any zones of control at this early stage that we're actually playing. So if we go to Zelos and back in through here, we can see that Zelos can't actually reach that one there, but can get to this one over here. So let's just press escape, and this one here can get to this one over this side. So let's go and use this one to fight this one, and Zelos's group should do okay against these other archers. Possibly we'll kill them both in one go. Let's just move him as far as we can into the objective. So we'll just move him up this way. We'll do an attack, and his attack area that he can actually attack with his group is in this field. Now, if he was 2 away, it would just be the bowman would be the only ones attacking. But because he's right next to it, I can actually attack this one and hit this Otto's group with him as well. So if I do that one, it's going to go in. As soon as I click on OK here, we're then going to sort of see that the overall threat level from Zelos is 3,274 with good morale, and the leader Otto has got a threat level of 862 with good morale. Now, the morale is important, particularly later on when you're trying to get units to surrender or do special things with them. And I sort of wish that there was an easy way to see what the morale of a group was when you actually were hovering over before you do combat. There's a few little things, as I say in the game, that I really wish that it was done a little bit differently. There's just a few little things. Look, the developers are so responsive. Anyway, let's just go and attack it. Now, what's going to happen is when we click attack, we'll attack, they'll attack, we'll attack, and then they'll attack. It's sort of the way it does work. But I'm thinking that Zelos, because he's so strong, will probably kill one of these outright. There's a chance that these will kill them outright as well. Let's just have a bit of a look and see what actually does happen here. So first round, bang, they fire. They did kill one and he killed the other one. They didn't get a chance to fight back. And so we won that one, no worries at all. Now we've got this one against the two swordsmen. And so we're going to send our group in through here. And remember, this group, if we look at the status of this group, was 2 swordsmen itself, plus we also had the captain, Lindley, the level 1 captain, and as well as a medic in through this side. So this one we probably won't get through and kill it off directly and immediately. Let's just go and click, move down. In this case, when we go attack, this is only a melee attack, so we don't actually have the extra range. By the way, if you stand on a hill or in a fortification, you end up with an extra level of range for ranged units. Anyway, let's just go and click this one. And so this one here, you'll see that we are basically double the threat level of that one, but we'll just continue on. So we'll now attack. Now what we'll see through here is our units will both attack. This one will have pretty good defense and will defend itself. So they didn't get killed. They did fight back. We then heal our unit. We bounce in again. We did kill one of them. He's come back in again. And we get a free action because I'm not sure why we got that free action, but we did manage to kill it off all in one go. Now, can they reach us? Now, we've got one through here. This is Richard's group. Now, they're not going to be moving. This group through here is also technically not going to be moving. This one here can move down to here, but can't really do anything with us. This one here as well can move down, but won't be able to. This is more of an archer group. and this one here won't be moving as well. So you can see there, this one's in a fortification, and so it's on a fort, so it has extra range that it can then go and hit us. Anyway, I think that's all I'm going to do. I just wanted to show you how the combat works, just so that when I do the next phase, you'll actually have a bit of an understanding as to what's going on. So let's just leave that one where that is. We're going to go back out to the system. We're going to go into the game title. Actually, I don't even need to do that one, but let's just go there anyway. And I'm just going to load in a game. I'm just going to load in one of the games that I've been playing. So I'll just find the one that, yeah, probably this one here, I think. Now, this is not a fair way into the game. It's still fairly early in the game, but it's about 2 hours of gameplay in at this point in time. So we've had like a lot of story events have been happening. We've been rescued from dungeons and all sorts of different wonderful things in the story. But in this case, we've now just going off to our next thing. So time to begin the journey to the Lemelin Monastery. We'll have to fight our way back every step of the way. So we're sort of in the icy, frozen north of the main map. In like this, you've got sort of like sub maps that sort of then just take you in a bit deeper into the actual storyline. So we've ended up at Grandheim Abbey, I'm guessing is where we are, or Fort Naxos. I'm not sure exactly where we are at this point in time. Actually, we must be in Grandheim Abbey, and the year is 997. We can see there that we've got like certain aspects that we can then go and do. So let's just go and talk about what everything actually is on this particular screen, because you'll be spending almost as much time managing things here as you will actually fighting. And it's a really cool system. Now we have our different resources. We've got money, iron, horses. We don't have any horses at this stage. We've got gems in through there as well. These are mainly used for upgrading your units, so all of those different sort of resources. Then you've also got this one over here, which are sort of like this. These white scrolls are used for your tech tree. So when we go into the tech tree, you can sort of see I've unlocked a few different things in through this side. But I've got now 5 of these, so I can actually unlock 5 more. So let's just go and do that one straight away. So we've got ourselves, and these are quite cool. Like there was one, I mentioned there before that there was a zone of control. Let's just go and add that one. I don't really care too much about what I get. I'm just going to go and get that one there. We've got also the support classes. We'll get them with a little bit more health. Let's now unlock this next phase. So we can get Dragon Trainer. Familiar with Dracology has given our Draklings, Dragons and Dragon Riders 25% faster. We know we don't need to worry about that one. All units gain class mastery 15% faster. It requires mentorship. Mentorship is down the bottom here. We don't have that one just yet. So non-squad leader units and squads now gain leader at a modest rate, up to below 10 of the squad leader's current leader stat. I think I might leave that one alone. Warhorse, so advanced war breeding. There's just so much in this. It really is a hell of a lot. Receive an additional bonus to magic resistance, so I won't worry about those as such. Won't worry about those. And we have the Sisterhood of Mercy. So Medic, Priestess, Templar, Hospitalier take 25% less damage with Paladin or Valkyrie in the same squad. It's a bit too much, that one there. So we do actually have a few of these that are actually open. Polar Mastery. These are probably a little bit too... I think I'm still wanting to sort of stay more down in the bottom here. Each unit gains +3. Yeah, I'll grab that one. Grab that one there. We've got defeat enemy squad leaders, cause even more morale damage. I'll grab that as well. And we've got one left. What else should we grab? A second artifact slot, which wouldn't be bad, to be honest. You can now construct crossbows. You actually will grab that as well. Unlocks a different class that we haven't had before. Okay, so everything is basically costing us 1 for these in through there. So we've now got like a whole lot of other skill sets that have been unlocked in the game, which again, it's a really nice system. There's complexity with what we're doing with this, which is really quite good. Now the next thing we'll have a look at is we have. If I just go through, you've got like an arena system where you can sort of like do mock fights just to sort of get used to how to play the game. It's, again, I would like to see this more fleshed out than it actually is. I really do want random content in this game. I think it would just absolutely shine if it had that. Supports, now what this one does, tends to go through what the relationships are with each of the actual characters. She's like a giantess or something. I don't know what she is. Anyway, but they've got different sorts of like family and then friends, and Stefan he's friends with her as well. We've got other people that aren't actually in the map that we're friendly with at this point in time as well. So anyway, and then we've got conversations. These are basically the a replay of conversations that we've actually had with different characters. So we're sort of ready to go there. That's the supports, tutorials and info. Very, very cool, this one here. We can sort of go through and actually have a bit of a look. I don't know why it starts off with so many of these things where they don't actually have, you know, the correct, like they don't have all of them showing, for example. It would be good if it, I don't know why it does that. Anyway, maybe it's because it's not, we haven't looked at it while I've been playing this, but even though I actually have. So it goes through like the world lore, and it keep on adding things as we discover things as well. Different sorts of terrains, what they do, how they work. These are mainly used in the phase of the game that we're currently in. Like they just help us, well, some of them are, like settlements will give us sort of like gold and so on and so forth. So we want to capture them in the combat, but they will actually lead to things. Same with the mines. Different sorts of bases in through there, and it just gives you information on the right hand side as to what everything actually is. The tactics and strategy, this is really worth having a read through. This is all the different ways of sort of, you can have to sort of, you know, play the game and get things to sort of work in your favour. The different class list, as I say, is really quite interesting. So the fighter class, for example, is just a low level fighter, and then it's got like different upgrades depending on what it is. So if it has 25 strength and 1 iron, you can then make it a soldier. 21 strength and 1 iron, you can make it a spearman. 21 and a horse and an iron, you can make it a cavalier, for example. So as it levels up, there's all sorts of different level ups that these can actually have. And so can be a squad leader? No, these can't be a squad leader at that one. We've got tier 1, unit type heavy infantry, movement type normal. It just goes through basically all of the different things. So battle actions, 2 slashing attacks at 1 range is sort of how that one does work. And so all of these will actually have, if I just press escape and then go back to bowmen. So bowmen can also, and sometimes you'll find there's a crossover where they can actually do different things themselves. Like crossbowmen, for example, just takes 2 iron to actually sort of build them up. So battle actions, 2 bow attacks at 1 range, or 1 arced bow attack at 2 range. So if we are close, we do get 2 shots. If we're further away, we end up just doing an arced bow, which is just a single attack. And that's sort of often how you try to sort of make use of these guys, if they can sort of get just the 1 attack to sort of weaken other units. Anyway, let's just get out of there. And so that's the tutorials and info. Again, a very useful screen, so make good use of that one. The marketplace is where we can then go, and I'm sort of working upwards, go backwards a little bit because this will make more sense this way, I think. This is where we can recruit different units back in through here. Now, what we have is we have basic, there's 4 basic classes. You've got like medics, you've got bowmen, you've got fighters, and you've got militia. And the way that they all work is the medic will heal up your units within your stacks. The bowmen will, as we saw there before, can actually got like a ranged attack. The fighters have got like a basic protection ability, as well as a basic melee attack. And then we've got the militia, which are more sort of like guerrilla fighters. These actually do sort of like ambushes. They can ultimately become your rogue type players. Is sort of how that they actually then sort of work. So these are different to fighters. They're not quite as. In this case, you can see their armor is lower. In this case, the weapon was pretty high though for her. So they do fight fairly well. Then we're going to have, every time we sort of come into one of these things, we can actually go and get a couple more. Now we actually have a level 7 sword fighter in here, and we can sort of find out she's probably come through the militia aspect, I would imagine. Now if we're unsure, we can just go and press escape, go back to tutorials and info, and we can have a look at sword fighter back in through here. Now the sword fighter does level up to other things. If we just go back to militia, yep, so militia does level up as long as they've got like the sort of like this, I guess that's speed or dexterity or something. They can actually then go and become a sword fighter. So she's become a sword fighter there, which is sort of like the militia does level up to all sorts of different things. Actually, not as many as I thought. I thought that they went to the rogue. Maybe it's the bowman that ends up going to the rogue. So if we go to the bowman, yeah, the bowman does. The bowman can become a skirmisher, or a rogue, or another archer, scouts, etc., etc. There's a whole range, including magic users. So the bowman is probably a good entry-level one for us, just to get like a whole range of different ways of having them actually level up. So anyway, that's sort of where we are. So going back into the marketplace, back in through here, so we can recruit different units in through this side. Now, you pretty much want to be getting your leadership. So level 7 sword fighter, and these will be sort of like randomly presented to you. I think they're random. So we'll go to Reich and just go yes, and Gregory as well, who is a level 6 apprentice, like a magic user. We've got arcane speed down through there as well. If we want to see what that means, gain skill based on the percent of magic. Okay, all right, that's fine. Let's go and hire you as well. So we've now just hired 2 more units. We can hire as many of these as we want to. Now it comes out of our gold for these units back and through here. We'll come back and figure out what we need. And so if we now go back through, now I don't know what that is there. Oh, that's our overall squad skill level. Like we've got skill levels for the individuals, plus we actually have it for like a faction as well. So we're very, very close to leveling up like our faction level. So that will be good to get that one through there. Let's just go go back away from recruit. We can now go to trader, where they have different sorts of things that we can then go and buy through here as well. And so the Pyrus site down the bottom through here has got used to generate firearms required for gunner, dragoon, and siege cannon. Now, I don't know if I want to buy that one just yet, but it is rare. So it may be worth actually having that for later on in the game. We don't need it just yet. The hulking Pavis is going to be some sort of, what this one here is going to do is minus 25% damage taken from firearms. Now, at the moment, we're not seeing firearms. So that one may be a little bit too much for us to really worry about. And then we've got the Acolyte's Mace in through here. And so what this one does is, this is a standard issue enchanted mace given to Temple Acolyte warriors. And so with the Acolyte's Mace, it's going to give us like a hit points to the level of +5. I don't know if it's hit points or something else. I forget exactly where that one does sort of kick in. We get +1 better armor, we get +1 better magic skills, but it's going to take our capacity, it's going to take 1 off our capacity. So it's going to add to our capacity to do things. Now, if we press escape there and go to sell items, we can see that we've got like a fair few different things that we have equipped. We've got some that aren't equipped yet as well. So we can actually equip a few different things. We've got a Sayonari War Pike and a Giant's Thresher in through the side as well, which gives us a strength of 2 and a cap of +2. So these are different items that we actually have in amongst our group, which is really quite cool. So anyway, we've got those different things. I didn't realise we had that many, to be honest. And what we'll do is we'll just go now to organise the army. So this is our army in through here. And you can see that if I go back to just squad operations, this is probably a good way to just get used to things. So if I go to squad operations and have a bit of a look, we can then sort of go from unit to, like from group to group, where we actually have the collection of different forces in the group, across the range. Now, if we have a look and see, we've got like a reserve in through there as well. We can have up to 200 units in our actual army. And so these can all be brought out into the actual fight as well. And usually a star means that these are leadership quality units. So these can actually, we can form new areas with these new leaders. Now, I'm not sure how many we'll be able to bring in. I might just start off with maybe 2 or 3 of these coming up. When you see a little up arrow, it means that they can be upgraded. So we'll have a look at that in just a minute as well. Now, if I go and click on these and have a bit of a look, important to just have a quick look to see what their capacity is. This one is using a ruby ring through here with the artifacts, which means that it's going to have a little bit of extra strength. And I can't really add any more to this particular group. So that one's pretty much at maximum level. You can see we've got a couple of spearmen, couple of healers, and one of the healers can actually be upgraded. So if we go across to change class, we can then see some of these, I can change them backwards. Like if I go and click on this, I don't know what she is. What is she? She's a priestess at this stage, level 6 priestess. She can go backwards to a medic, but we don't want that. If we go back across, this medic here can be upgraded to either a priestess or a siren. Now a siren, if I click on a siren through here, it's going to cost me one gem, and I need to have at least a magic ability of 20. Now she's got 27, so she's pretty cool there. If I go to the priestess and have a look, she also is going to require a magic ability. Her magic ability will go from 27 to 37 actually, which is really quite cool. And so she'll become a much, much better priestess. Actually, so this will be Katrine, the level 6 priestess after this one in through here. So her hit points will go up, her weapon armor will go up slightly. All of these different things will go up, but it will cost us 1 of our gems to actually do this one here. Now we've got Warrior's Hubris in through this side. She's already got that. I don't know what that actually is. Unit gains resistance to magician and dragon attacks as strength increases. Okay. So we don't need to sort of worry too much about that one. So if I want that one, I can go that way. If I press escape, I can just go back to the siren. So the siren, we're going to actually go backwards with our hit points quite a bit. She becomes more of a magic user in this case. Weapon abilities goes up, magic goes up a bit, skill goes up. I think we go back the other way. So I think we actually go to the priestess, because I do need high level healers. So she'll have a much better go at actually healing us with this one here. Just click it again, promote, yes we will. And so she becomes an actual, so she's the only other one in there that could actually level up. Just press escape again. And we can see there's nothing else in through there that can level up. We've got another one over here in Pardus's group. So if we just go back to squad operations, back to Pardus, go to change class, click on her, and we'll make her into a priestess as well. I sort of want to specialize, or not specialize, but I want to have a lot of these in the actual group itself. And so the other ones, if I just press escape, the other ones here will require like a strength. This one requires a strength of 18 to become an acolyte. A hospitaller requires a horse to become a hospitaller, so we can't actually get her to do that one, but we can certainly get her to be a priestess because she does have the magic abilities to do that one. So we'll get her leveled up as well. Just go and click and promote. There's no other cost other than really what the resources are that we actually have up in here to do this. So there we go. What I now need to do is pretty much just go through and just go to squad operations from each one of them and just see if we can actually squeeze any more. Now, most new units are going to take 10 units to bring them in. So I'm looking at that. I'm also looking at what's empty. Now, this one here has got like a whole lot of different sort of rogue type units back and through this side. We're only 7 off, but it's empty as far as artifacts are concerned. So let's just go across to our artifacts. Now, we saw there before, we've got the war pike. What's that going to give us? If I just click up and through here, the war pipe will give me extra hit points, extra strength. It's going to cost me 1 extra capacity back and through that side. And it will actually give me plus 15% damage to cavalry. We also have the scout's gear as well, which will give me plus 2 skill. I might go the scout's gear, which sort of is more suitable for this one, which is not great, but it's just going to help me a little bit. Let's just go that way. That way, actually, we've got the Crusader's Mace there as well, which we don't need. So this one now is locked in here. So we'll just go back across to squad operations. Just have a quick look to see if there's any others that are in this category. Okay, here's our main giant. So this is Diana's squad. So she's massive and very, very strong. So what we'll do is we can see through here that she does have the ability to have 1 more unit really placed in with her. We've already got 2 healers, 2 low-level healers in her unit. So we'll just go and add unit. Now we've got a few different units that are actually in here at this point in time. We want another support unit, I think. So what we might do is we might go and grab a, like actually this one here has got leadership of 44 there, 40 there, 38s. I can use one of these perhaps. Or I can buy another one to sort of flesh this one out. So what I'll do is, who shall I use? The archers are probably not going to be a great addition for this one here. Actually, maybe they will. Maybe they will. Let's go and throw this one here with the lower leadership in. So we'll just go and, actually, will that one allow us to do it? Maybe it won't. Oh, hang on, these are capacity. It's going to be plus 2. So I'm not going to be able to actually bring them in. Okay, I need 12. I need a group of 12 there to be able to bring some of these in. Yeah, can't do it. Okay. All right, so that one's stuck where that is as well. Actually, they didn't have the artifact. So you just go through essentially now the Giant's Thresher. If we just go back into there. This one here gives us strength of plus 4. So, yep, that's going to be okay. So that will be fine. We'll just press escape. So they've now got the Giant's Thresher in through there as well. That just indicates that it's fairly rare, that particular item. Next squad is in through here. Again, it's pretty much locked in. That one there doesn't really have any more places. This is more of a group of sort of like skirmisher type units. You can sort of see there, light infantry is the movement. It's sort of like if it's got like a sneaky sort of area in behind it, like there should be this one as well. So these are very, very good at ambushing. both of those squads. The other squads that we've sort of been seeing are more just out in the open. This one as well, we can't do anything with that one. And so we're sort of back to the other squad through there. So all of those squads at this stage have got what they need. If we just go and press escape, if we now go back to form new squads, let's go and form 3 new squads with our fighters. So what we'll do is we'll go and definitely grab we'll get Gregory. So we'll form a squad there. So he's now going to form a squad, and we'll just go back in, just press escape. We'll come back and add in new units with each of these. Form new squad. We'll take in, she's got a 40 leadership skill, so I do want to get a few of these. So we'll form the squad there as well. Press escape. And you can see there that she naturally wants to have like another group of hidden units. Form new squad. We'll just get a 3rd one, and I want to get as much. This one's got leadership of 39. Let's go that way. And we can then start to sort of plan what we want to have with the actual squad itself. Like this is Manfred's squad, for example. So I'll just quickly go through how this would then sort of work. Now, you can see that it's divided. Like if I go to move unit and I go and click on him, I can put him anywhere. Like if we've got the major sort of squares in through these different areas, like I can move him across to there, or move him even into like half and half. This is all valid, and the front attack will be coming from the right hand side, and positioning them here is actually not a bad idea. I'll show you how we sort of then make use of this. And these are sort of like infantry movement, which is fine. This ones don't have any artifacts, so we will go back and buy some artifacts if we have. So probably what we want to have with these guys is maybe having we got any more healers. Like if we go to add units. Yeah, we don't have any more healers back out through there, but I do actually have another one here. I might just go and add this one in as well. So I'll just go and add in both those captains. They can essentially, I can use them in the one squad because I've already now formed my main squads. And whoops, I didn't mean to come back across. Squad operations, Manfred, add unit. I wish that you could actually buy your fill-in units from these particular zones as well. Now we're up to 22. I'm just going to go and pick this one here at 10. So we've only got like one more that can be added to this little squad. So I'm going to go and add him in there. But we saw that this one had a little up arrow as well. So I'll just go and position him where he is. We're now just going to change class. This one did actually have the up arrow. So we can change this one. Actually, we can change that one too. A crossbowman. I can't. He doesn't have the strength to actually then make him into a soldier. Like if you click on soldier, he requires like 25 strength, 21. At the moment his strength is only 16, but I can make him into a crossbowman. And so his armor will go down from where he currently is. His weapon will go up. I think we might do that. Let's go and promote him. So he's now been promoted to a crossbowman. What that does now is it gives me three ranged units with no real prospect to put anything else in here. So it's a little bit unprotected. I think we might remove a unit. Let's just go and remove this unit. We go and, whoops, we don't want to remove that one. We want to go and move the units. Oops, press escape, move that one back there, and we're just going to go and add a unit. And I will actually add in this soldier. And I'm going to position, see how I'm half and half with these two. If I put the soldier in the front, he will then protect them a little bit from any attacks that do come through. So he's protecting both the archers. So that one's good. We'll just press escape. And in this case, we'll just go to artifacts. Actually, we don't have any. Do we have the war pike? Let's just go up there. Let's go and add that one in, I guess. So, or the Crusader's mace. Yeah, we don't need magic. Let's go that way. So then we've got the Crusader's mace in through there, which will give them a bit more sort of firepower. Only a small group, but that's actually all we need to do. I'm going to pause this. I'll come back when I've actually sort of fleshed out all like the other groups as well. I'll just go back in. Like as I say, it'd be great to be able to buy, actually get more units for these. Like if I come back into squad operations, then say click on Reich, you can see there that we've got we can put in 3 more units in through this side. I may want to keep them as a light infantry group, so I may need to go back and have predominantly light infantry. So if I grabbed like one more, if I grabbed the healer, for example, and say 2 other of the light infantries, then that would actually sort of work out fairly well as a little attack group. Yeah, I think we'd have to do it that way. I don't know if I can do it other ways. I won't pause it. I'll just quickly go and do exactly this. So to go back, unfortunately, I've now got to go back out to the marketplace. Back to recruit. I want to get one healer, so we'll get a healer there. We're going to go and we need to get another militia, so we'll go and grab that one, and we'll go and grab another soldier because they're always useful. And if we now go back across into organize army and squad operations, and then go back down to Reich and through here again, and just go to add units, we now have the different units that we brought in. So we'll bring in a healer back in for there. We'll bring in this is the other militia that we actually brought in. So if I bring the militia back into across to there, we'll see the background will then change. And now it's gone back into it being like more of being able to do ambushes. So this is what I want. I want that ambush background back in through that side. And we've still got one more that we can actually add in. And so I just want to see if this will work. And it did work, because we've got these two classes here are overriding what these can do. This one here is protecting our main guy and also the healer. The healer will then protect the units a little bit when the fights actually occur. But this little group can actually do ambushes. So that's actually fairly important. Actually, we've only got one more to do, haven't we, really? So let's just go back into squad operations. Gregory, and so Gregory's squad, we can have another 3 units back in through here. Same sort of deal, but in this case, I'm just going to have two normal fighters, another healer. So if I just go to add units, what have we got? We do have, I do have a horse bowman, which I could have used somewhere as well. Look, I'll leave that one out for now. What we'll do is we'll just come back across. God, I wish that this marketplace was available through that other screen. If we go across to get 2 of those, and we wanted to get, we wanted to get one more healer there as well. Healers are really, really useful. Okay, so we now just go back to organize army, squad operations for Gregory, add unit. She goes to there. There we go. Now we've still got 4 more spots, which means that we can go to artifacts. Let's just go and buy something else in this case. So we've got 4 slots left over. Go to the marketplace, go to the trader. Acolyte's Mace is going to have a capacity of 1. That does give us a bit of magical ability. The Hulking Pavis is, now it's from firearms. It's not going to help us a hell of a lot. The Pyrocryte, I sort of feel that I might just go and grab that one now. And I might get this one because it's rare. But we'll get this one as well. So we'll just go and spend our money there. And when we go back in again, so you do spend a lot of time farting about with these different things. We're going to go back into Gregory's group, which has got a capacity of 4. We're going to go to artifacts. We're going to go into this one in through here, and we're just going to go down to, which one was it? The Acolyte's Mace in through this side. All right, so that gets that little group ready. Now this is actually just a normal attack group. It's actually slow infantry because of these 2. All right, these are going to be moving very, very slowly. If I didn't have her in this group, I could actually have like another fighter. That would then give me I'd have more of them than the support units, which would then speed things up. But let's just leave it where it is, I think. So that we've got to remember that Gregory's unit is slow. Everyone else is reasonably fast. Okay, so we are now ready to go off and do our next attack. So I'll leave this one here. So this first episode was really just going through how all of these different things work. And we'll now go into deploy and then start the next phase of the game. The next video will be the actual fight itself. Thanks for watching. I hope you've been enjoying it. I know that we haven't actually got into any actual fighting or very much fighting in this episode, but next episode will be all fighting. I'll catch you then.